Um, it is my intention that we're going to wrap up a little early tonight so that we can all go hear the State of the Union. And Maggie, you don't have to mention that I've read your post. You're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you complaining about the president. You're muted.
No, I'm not saying anything because I don't say anything political.
Right. And I don't either. I just think that without going on either side of the fence, he is the president of the United States, and I'd like to hear what he has to say. So I think it's important. So let's just get started. Before I launch into and where's France? There she is. I was just going to say, where's France? Because she was one of the ones that wanted me to talk about the topic we're going to talk about tonight. Are you there, France? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. All right. There's Anita. Hi, Anita.
Don't forget to put it on record.
We are recording right now. Good evening, Leighton. Okay, before I launch into the topic that I don't know what to talk about tonight, what I'm going to talk about tonight is ManyChat. I'm going to give us a brief overview of ManyChat. I'll come back to that in a minute. Does anybody have any questions that they want to throw on the table before we jump into ManyChat? Going once? Can everybody hear me? Going twice? All right. Well, I assume there's no questions. So let's talk about ManyChat. Now, before I dive into ManyChat, I want to put a couple of disclaimers up here. First off, for many of you, and you're going to have to make this decision for yourself. For many of you, ManyChat is one step into the abyss too many right now. You're already in MLSP for the first time and trying to find your way through that. You're in Execution Revolution. You're here in this coaching program, and there's just so much that you can do. But since ManyChat has been brought up numerous times, I want to just give you a superficial overview of what it is and how it works. This is not going to be an in-depth training, and ManyChat has a whole lot to it. So, first off, what is ManyChat? Well, before we go to screen share, let's just talk about what it is. What is Messenger? Messenger is a Facebook messaging application. You can send messages. We can send messages to each other on Messenger. And it's completely and totally 100% Facebook. If I want to send a message to Mark, I go to Messenger and I just find Mark and I go to Messenger and I type a message in and I send it, right, Mark? And if you want to reply, you send a message back. I can send a picture to you. I can send a file. So we can communicate on Messenger. Okay.
You can also send a video on Messenger.
We can send a video. Yeah. So Messenger is just a piece of the Facebook environment that lets us talk to each other one-on-one, actually one-on-many, because I can create a message group where I'm messaging multiple people. What I cannot do with Messenger is automate the process. I have no way to preload a series of messages, for example, like I can in Aweber, like I can in my autoresponder. I have no way to create different sequences. That's where the third-party application comes into play. There are a number of third-party apps that communicate with Messenger and put a layer on top of Messenger that lets you automate what's going on in Messenger. One of the best, one of the first, one of the most robust, and one of the best of them is ManyChat. Facebook has let ManyChat into the Facebook environment with full endorsement. Facebook has blessed ManyChat and given them full access to the Facebook API. So Facebook is able, or ManyChat is able to talk to Facebook Messenger.
Len, what is API?
I was afraid
I'm
somebody
hearing
was
that
here.
all the time. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that is a gosh darn. I'm embarrassed to admit that I forget what it means too. But it's the something interface. Everybody, let me do a screen share. Let me teach you guys a trick, because I don't know the answer either. So, API, application that accesses the features or data of an operating system. I don't know. It's
Application that what?
a set of functions and procedures allowing the creation of applications that access the features or data of an operating system, application, or other service. There's a simple
Clear as
definition.
mud.
Pardon me?
It's clear as mud.
Yeah. It actually stood for something, and I don't remember. Application Programming Interface. There you go. I couldn't remember it either, to be honest with you. Application Programming Interface.
Basically, it allows other programs to access how another program works and then interface with it.
Right. So by giving ManyChat, and now that we're sharing, we'll just stay on here. I'm going to go to an incognito window for a minute. By giving ManyChat access to the Facebook interface, if you like, Facebook has allowed ManyChat basically unfettered access to Facebook. And so ManyChat is allowed to come in there and create programs that can access the Facebook Messenger and do things with it. Now, last week we talked about creating a fan page or a business page. Now that you all have a business page, whether you're using it or not right now is sort of immaterial, but you have one. And ManyChat interfaces to the fan page. It does not interface to your personal page.
When you say personal page, you're talking about your profile.
Your profile, yeah. However, in order to get a ManyChat account, you have to give it your personal profile. That's how it figures out who you are. So what I've done here is I've come up with a incognito window. I assume everybody knows what that is, but I've just asked, I've asked my browser, which is Chrome, for an incognito window, and I'm just going to type in ManyChat. And what I'm going to see here is what you would see, and I don't want any of these. I just want Google to go find ManyChat and not log it into my Facebook. As soon as I tell it who I am, it's going to automatically log in. So all you're going to do is, and I suggest you just go ahead and do this because it's free and it's easy. So you're just going to go to ManyChat.com and you're going to come up with a page like this. It says Meet ManyChat, Meet Messenger Marketing. And you're going to click Get Started Free. And now the next thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you to sign in with Facebook. So you're going to give it your Facebook ID, whatever that happens to be. Okay? Mine happens to be len.mooney.754. Facebook.com. Len.mooney. Never mind. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what yours is. And once you do that, it's going to go ahead and install ManyChat into your system. You're going to have ManyChat and connect it to your Facebook. Pure and simple. So having done that, what you will then see is, and every time you want to access ManyChat, by the way, you don't access it through Facebook. You access it by going ManyChat.com. And however, once it's installed in Facebook, you can log in or just go to its dashboard. So once it does the installation It's very simple and it's free. There is a paid version, by the way, but you don't need the paid version right now. So just get the free version. And in your spare time, if you want to play with it, and just begin to learn what it does.
Anybody got spare time?
Well,
Yeah, right.
what can I tell you?
What's spare time?
Yeah.
That's
Now,
my question.
the first thing is right here. You're going to tell it what fan page or business page you want it to talk to and be installed on. And I have it installed on every one of my pages. Adventures in Parenting, Toby, that was the dog, my Scuba World, my Healthy Aging page, et cetera, et cetera. There are no limits, no known limits to how many pages you can have and that ManyChat can be talking to. ManyChat currently has users that are running over 50 pages. And if you ask ManyChat what the limit is, they'll tell you they don't know. They have people running over 50 pages. So far, they haven't found a limit. If there is one, they don't know what it is. So if you have more than one fan page or business page, just put it on them all. Don't worry about it. And that's all you have to do. And just tell them what pages you want it on, and you're all done with it. You never have to do that again. Okay? So we're going to deal with Len's Healthy Aging right now. The first thing is the page that comes up, the default page is the dashboard. This is the dashboard. And I'm not going to take you through every feature and function of ManyChat tonight. One, it's way too complicated. There's way too much to it. I'll just bury it. Two is I'm still learning it. I'm ahead of you, but I'm not going to tell you that I'm that far ahead of you. There's a lot to what this thing can do, and I'm still learning all of the things that it can do. So what you have here is the first thing you have is a graph of your active subscribers. How many people do you have subscribed to ManyChat? And what I'm going to show you is that you have an audience. This is just like having an audience over in your autoresponder, over in a list in Aweber, for example. You've got a list of people who have subscribed to you on ManyChat, just as you have a list of people who have subscribed to you over in your Aweber account or whatever autoresponder you happen to be using. And you can message these people. You can do things with them. And we'll look at some of the things we can do in a minute. So one of the things that's interesting is that if I have people in here, so Leighton, can I pick on you for a moment? If I have people that are in here, this is somebody who's come in through ManyChat, through my messenger interface to ManyChat, and I have captured his information. So if I click on his name, we find out the word is all of his public information, but it's not all of his public information. Like if he has an arrest record, it doesn't show up here. I'm joking, Leighton. Okay. But what that show up here is his sex, his language, his time zone, and how he came in. He opted in through my example pop-up, my example bar. What the hell is an example pop-up or an example bar? Anybody want to play with me? Who wants to play with me? Sean, you're always good fodder. Your computer seems to be working. Just do a screen share and go to lenmooney.com.
It's me, good fodder.
Just do a
Just
do a screen share and go to lenmooney.com.
Okay.
Now Sean is going out to my MLSP Sites website. It doesn't matter that it's an MLSP Sites website. It can be any website. If you have a website that's on GoDaddy or someplace else, just charge. Come on, website. You can do this. Okay, so here comes the home page of my website. As soon as it loads, watch what's going to happen. There's a pop-up. that comes up that says, connect with me on Facebook. That's how Leighton got into my list. He came in through that pop-up bar. So Sean,
hey, Len, is that ManyChat then?
this is ManyChat.
Okay.
This is ManyChat. So this is one of the features of ManyChat. It lets you go out and put a pop-up on your website so that somebody can come in and go ahead and just click on it, Sean. And now,
Am I clicking here? Send a message?
Yep, send the messenger. Okay. So now go ahead and stop the screen share. Actually, don't stop the screen share, sorry. Go ahead over to your Facebook.
Okay.
Now, one of the messages at the top, the first message at the top should be, that's a friend request. The messages. There you go. Now just hang on for just a second, and I'm going to show you where all this comes from. So the fact that you clicked that header over in my website lets me automatically send you a message. Welcome, Sean. It's great to connect with you. Go ahead and pull it down. And now I can ask you a question. What's important to you about healthy aging? Do you want to look younger, travel more, be healthier, blah, 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 blah. P.S. If you ever want to unsubscribe, just hit stop. Now, don't do anything, okay? Just hold that page right there and stop your screen share, because I'm going to show you what I see on my end. And then we'll go into Messenger in a minute and we'll look. Okay, so I want to refresh my audience. Actually, we must have clicked something. Okay, so on my end, what I picked up now is, we got past the unknown, so we must have clicked something there, but that's all right. On my end, what I have now is that Sean has subscribed to me in my Messenger. So I can now message Sean through Messenger. Now, I could have messaged him through Messenger before, but I can do a lot of other things that are going to be very interesting, and I'll show you some of them in a minute, okay? So Sean is now captured in my Messenger. If I look at my dashboard, you'll see a bump up in, no, I don't see the bump up yet, but it should be there. Bump in the number of subscribers. Should have gone up by 1. It hasn't picked it up yet. So let's look.
It said 34.
Well, it did pick it up. It just didn't show.
Yeah, it went to 35. It's just not showing it on the graph. Yes. Okay, so there are a number of things that are really interesting here. What you just saw is what's called a growth tool. And the growth tool is, in this case, it's an example bar, which I have installed on my website. And it simply gives anyone who visits my website the option of connecting with me over here on Messenger. And once they're connected with me on Messenger, there's a lot of interesting things that I can do with them.
So you're saying this is on your website?
What I'm saying is that Sean connected to me over on my website.
That example bar was on your website?
Correct.
Oh, I thought it was in the Facebook page.
No, it was on the website.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, I'll show you again.
That's.
If I do an incognito window, and I have to do an incognito window because the website's already open. If I just do an incognito window, you'll see as soon as it's done loading. There it comes. Connect with me on Facebook. So this message bar is on my website. Is that making sense?
Okay, and what you're calling a website is something you created in MLSP?
Well, this happens to be my MLSP blog, yes.
It's a blog,
Yeah,
which is a website.
it's a website, yes. A blog is just part of a website. So many people use the word blog and website interchangeably. They're really not quite the same, but typically a blog is part of a website. So I have a lot of other things here on my website besides my blog. This is my blog right here under posts. And yes, this is all created in MLSP, but it doesn't have to be MLSP.
Hey, Len,
Yes.
is that with the professional plan? Professional program? Grade one, the 150?
Yes, yes. The difference between 150 and 300 is you have two blogs instead of one blogs. And you have,
Okay.
I just clicked on Len Mooney International. Len Mooney International was another site of mine. It has nothing to do with MLP. It's out in GoDaddy land. And I get the same pop-up here because I've installed it here.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the fact that the blog was in MLSP is immaterial. That just happens to be where that website is hosted. This is a totally different, completely independent website that's hosted on GoDaddy.
Okay.
So you can have any website you want hosted anywhere you want it, and you can put a connection like this that connects a visitor to your website back to you on Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
Is everybody with me? Okay.
Carry on.
Okay. So this is an example bar. Now, if I click on the example bar, and we're not going to do an in-depth training of how to do this stuff. First off, there's way too much to it. We can't do it in one session. If we wanted to do a full training on ManyChat, we would have to set aside, I'm going to say, a minimum of 3, maybe 4 sessions to go through this thing in depth. There's a lot to this. This is like me trying to do a training on MLSP in a half hour. It ain't going to happen, okay? But once I decide I'm going to install a button like Connect with Me on Facebook, this is the button you saw on my website, then I just simply go through all of the actions required to set it up, and the final thing is the setup, where I just tell it what websites to install it on. So I have it installed on my international site and my MLSP sites. These are all the different websites where that thing is installed. So it's really a very simple thing to set it up, and I'm not trying to teach you tonight how to set it up, but all the steps are right there in front of you. Now, let's look at one other example of growth tools, and then we'll come back to some other things. So here's another growth tool that I'm working on right now, and I haven't actually unleashed this yet, but you'll see it probably sometime real soon. The Healthy, Wealthy Aging Society growth tool. And what this is, I'm just going to grab the URL for it.
I found out what URL stands for this weekend.
Oh, okay, what's that?
Universal Resource Locator.
Okay, thank you. That's another one that I've forgotten. Okay, now I'm just going to show you what happens here. I'm just going to take that URL and drop it into an incognito window. So it really doesn't quite know who I am. It'll be confused. So let's just say I sent that URL to you and you clicked on it. I can't do it this way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do it that way. Because I don't know what my login, I actually don't know what my login to Facebook is. All right, fine, be that way.
Len,
Yeah.
are you sending, so for this example, are you sending something directly to Instant Messenger? Like an invite to your website?
I'm basically sending it to me right now.
Right, but
Yeah.
through Instant Messenger.
Through Messenger. So,
Okay.
so here's what I got. And I've sent this before, so you have to ignore the stuff up here. I got a message that says, "Welcome, Len. It looks like you're interested in the Healthy, Wealthy, and Active Aging Society PDF summary. Is it okay if I deliver it here in Messenger?" So I've created a PDF file, and I'm asking, can I deliver it here? And I'm going to tell it, yeah, go ahead and deliver it here. And there's the PDF file. Now, and I can just download that file and get it. Now it says, would you like to learn more about our coaching program? That's us tonight. Yes, tell me more. This is all automated. This is all automated. So now it's taken me out to a capture page that was generated inside of this. This is an example of a capture page that was generated inside of Funnelizer. And as soon as I click to enroll, it's going to drop me down through to the PayPal tab, but it's also going to enroll me. So if I sent, for example, a link like that to you, if I put up an ad that says, click on this link to get more information, and you click the link and follow it through, it brings you all the way through. This is a completely automated sequence. So, and what I don't want to do here is bury you in an automated sequence, but really just show you some of the power that's sitting here. So what we have here, and now we'll dig in just a little bit deeper. So what we have here is a way to do some pretty sophisticated automation using Facebook Messenger, using this bot. It's called a bot. So, okay, so the first thing is that it builds I can build an audience here on Messenger, and I can message everybody in this audience, or I can message some people in the audience. I can select who I want to message. I can select them by gender. I can select them by tags and tabs and things. There's a bunch of stuff I can do there, just the same as I can do in Aweber. I have a lot of tools that I can use. So for example, there's a thing called the main menu. And the main menu is a stack that's at the bottom of a message that I send to you. So if I send you a message, I can put things down there like schedule a free call. Now, watch what happens if I send this on through. Hang on, I got way too many things open up here, stuff in the way. Okay, that's not working. That's not doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to send this on through and show, well, I'll show it to you another one. Let me hold on to the main menu for a minute. There's a default reply. Now, the default reply is what you get if Messenger, the bot, doesn't know what else to do. So if it doesn't recognize any keyword or any other thing in a response you type to it, it sends you something called the default reply. And I'm afraid that I'm going to confuse everybody right now. So there's a default reply, which is like, I don't know what else to say, so this is what I'm going to send, and I can customize that. There's a welcome message, which is what you saw a little bit ago. It's I should be able to blow this up a little bit for you. There it is. This is the one you saw a little bit ago that it was sent to Sean when he came in through my website. It's great to connect with you on Facebook. What's important, blah, blah, blah. And this is a piece of that menu stack. Somebody can click on this and they can get a free coaching call from me. Or they can click on this and they can get a video about who I am. So there's a lot of power in the things that you can do with this bot. You can automate all these different functions. So there's a welcome message. That's this one. There's a default reply. It's what it sends. So for example, if we go back, let's go back to, Sean, go ahead and go back and do a screen share and go back to your Facebook. So if you see on that message, at the very bottom, there's a hamburger stack there. It says, it's right next to type of message, but there's 3 lines, these 3 horizontal lines. If you click on the 3 horizontal lines, that's going to open up that hamburger stack at the bottom. And one of the things you can do, you go ahead and click on it. One of the things that you can do is you can schedule a free call with me. If you click on that, it's going to take you out to my Calendly scheduler and let you get onto my schedule. Okay? So, yeah. So let's go back.
Wow, that's pretty organized, Lynn.
Are you being? So let's go back to your Facebook page.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Yeah, and then if you come down here where it says type a message, if you just type gibberish in there and hit enter, what you should get is the default response. And there's the default response. Because it doesn't know how to interpret that gibberish that you typed in. So it just comes back with the default response. Okay, Lynn typically replies in a day. If you want to ask something, press talk to a human. You can press talk to a human. And quite honestly, I don't have that set up right now, and I need to fix that because that's something I don't want people clicking on talk to a human and expecting a human to get back when the message doesn't go anywhere. So I need to fix that. So okay.
You mean just have it removed?
Well, no, what I can do is I can fix it by having it send me a message that says somebody just messaged you. Go take a look at it. So I can fix it so it really does message me. So there's a talk to admin function or message admin function. Go ahead and stop your screen share. Let me go back to screen share here. Okay. So.
But what you're saying here, Len, is that, ManyChat, it has all these little module things like you're talking about, and you can set up like the default reply and whatever, different menus, but it does all the work of linking them all together so that it's, you're just doing the pieces and it's adding the functionality, it seems like.
Right. And it has a very, very powerful, it has a very powerful visual editor that lets you edit all of this stuff. So let me go back to flows here for a minute and see if here's that tool that we were looking at a minute ago, growth tool number 5, which is my opt-in message. So this is actually the visual editor. So each one of these things, I can edit these and I pull a line to the next function and pull a line to the next function, and I can go ahead and set up all of the actions I wanted to take. So, and to be honest with you, I'm still working with the visual editor because this thing, while it's very simple, it does a lot. And I'm not quite to a point where I'm ready to take on teaching the visual editor, but I'm very close. I'm very close. I have several of these things up and running, and I'm running them in test mode to be sure that they're doing what I think they're doing, and to get myself to a point where I feel comfortable beginning to teach how to do this and how to use this editor. But here's the final thing I want to show you. There's this little button down here called Help. Okay, so here's the deal. If you just install ManyChat and put it on your fan page, this is your dashboard where all the functionality is. Broadcasting, by the way, lets you I can send out a message to everybody. I can invite everybody in my messenger to come to the Wednesday night webinar, for example. Okay, just like I'm sending a broadcast message in a Weber to a list, I can broadcast to everybody in Messenger. Automation lets you set up sequences. So I can send up a sequence of however messages I want. Again, this is like putting a sequence of messages in a Weber, where you can send message 1 today, and then message 2 tomorrow, message 3 next week, for as many messages as you want to send. So, there's an example sequence, and you can send, and in fact, ManyChat gives you this example sequence, and all you've got to do is go in here and edit the messages and tell it to send it. So, message sequences, being able to direct people to videos, to capture pages, to have them opt in. There's just a tremendous number of things you can do. And perhaps the most important thing is that it has a very well-developed help function, help video tutorials. And I strongly recommend that if you get Messenger in and installed, and you go out here and you start to work down through the video tutorials. Each one of them is short, 2 minutes, 35 seconds, 6 minutes, 3 minutes. You can start to work yourself down through these tutorials. The longest one is 15 minutes, and that's getting started with the flow builder. And you can begin to learn how you can integrate this thing into your marketing. Now, having said all that, I'll stop the share for a minute. Having said all that, as I said in the beginning, first off, I don't want to dig deep into ManyChat, partially because I'm still learning it myself, and I don't want to confuse you any more than you already are. And I may have already done that anyhow. For those of you who are new to MLSP and new to all this stuff, and you're just learning the stuff, ManyChat may be more of a challenge to take on right now. I would suggest get it installed. There's a couple of simple things you can do with it, and you can begin to add people. As you add people to your Facebook page, you can begin to add them to your ManyChat subscriber list. And gradually, and you can see I only have 35 people on my subscriber list right now. I haven't been really working hard at building my ManyChat subscriber list because I'm not quite ready to turn it loose. Yeah.
So you can add people to it without people asking to subscribe into it.
Yes and no. They have to click on Messenger. Let me go back. I was going to demonstrate this with Sean, but it didn't work. We jumped past it. I don't quite know why, but let me go back to. Let me go back to the audience. These people, this person, and this actually might have been me. This person, all I know about this person is they subscribed and they came in through a direct message, but they didn't click on anything. They didn't interact with the bot. So I don't know anything about them. In order for me to actually add them, they have to interact with the bot. They have to click on a button, put in a message. They have to do something.
So if you have somebody in your messenger, can the bot, can you send them a message, and then if they click, they're on your list?
Yes, you can send them,
Okay.
for example, you can send them a welcome message or something. And the last thing you want to do in the message is ask them a question. And as soon as they click on the button to answer the question or they type in an answer, then they're subscribed.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Yep. So you don't have to just get people from your website.
Right. No. You can get people from all over the place. And that was the point of that thing I was showing a minute ago when I showed you the sequence that I'm building where I'm going to begin to send people, going to put up a Facebook ad that says click here for more information. And when they click here, it brings them into the bot and it takes them through this. Hey, what about healthy aging? Are you interested in blah, blah, blah? Would you like to learn more? Blah, blah, blah. Would you like to become part of our society? Blah, blah, blah. It takes them through that whole sequence. And I'm still working on getting it working the way I want it to work so that it's not obnoxious.
So like I could have something and I'd say to people, are you interested in health related or astrology, numerology, let's say?
Yeah.
And then they can click whichever one they prefer.
Right. Exactly. And that puts a label on them. You can have a label for astrology, a label for numerology, a label for whatever. And then you can send messages to people that are astrology or people with messages to people that are numerology. Like you can segment the list. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I could have something on things about career building or whatever. Yes. And okay.
Now,
options.
Let's wrap this up in the next couple of minutes so we can all go listen to President Trump. I'd like to have a couple of minutes to run to the bathroom, etc. I want to show you one more thing. For those of you who are in MLSP, I want to remind you that MLSP, let's get that out of the way, get to the main menu. Training. My training library. All right, I went too far. Periscope. Messenger marketing. Under Facebook marketing, messenger marketing. So this is another training. There's over 2 hours of training here in 2 different videos. And this was done by Jesse Jameson, who's really an incredible expert in Facebook. And now I'm going to tell you this. this course is about a year old, and some of what he shows in ManyChat has evolved a little bit. It's not quite the same, so be prepared for things to be not quite the same. But from a philosophical viewpoint, he's got a lot of really good ideas and information in there. And you know what? I warn you, in all honesty, Facebook, this whole thing, this is not a once and done. I've gone through his course probably 3 times now, and all those little training videos, I've watched every one of them a couple of times, and I'm still learning how this thing all fits together, because there's just a lot of moving parts to it. So that's why I say, for those of you who are just getting started, this may be too much for you to jump into right now. But you know what it is, you know how to install it. The installation is easy, it's cheap, it's free, and you can begin building a little audience back there. And then when you're ready to really take the time to learn it, you've got it installed and you can go to work.
How do we get on YouTube and do YouTube lives? What is the, like I go to my channel and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I don't know how I would do a live. Is there a training in that in MLSP? How to use the YouTube?
Actually, I don't know the answer if there's a training on MLSP for YouTube Live, but I do know that, let me get to my YouTube channel rather than just go to YouTube. Let me go. I'm just moving things around on my desktop so I can find YouTube links.
Have you been doing YouTube Live directly?
I have not done a YouTube Live, but I can tell you where to go find. I mean, I've got 3 YouTube channels. Never mind why.
I just tried to clean that up today. I made one go away.
It's a whole nother story for a different day and time. Okay. But come on, you can do this. So right here, where it says create a video or post, it says go live.
So I guess, you know what? I'll have to look and see if,
so I don't think there's much to it. I think you push the button. Now,
well, maybe it's because I was trying to look at with my iPad.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. But now that I saw it,
yeah. So there it is. I mean, and now it may have trouble. It's gonna argue with me because the webcam is already, it's arguing because the webcam's already tied up doing this meeting.
Yeah.
So if the webcam were freed up,
all right, I'll go look.
I think that's it. You just click the button and start talking. It's just like Facebook Live. You click the button and start talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It should be fun.
I just haven't seen the button.
Pardon me?
This is sort of like what I've seen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will go look some more.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope I didn't confuse anybody too much tonight. Was there value in doing this tonight?
Yeah, to just at least get to understand what it can do a little.
And if anybody wants to say no,
it's going to be a good tool.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I had no idea what it.
All right, cool. All right, so we'll see you Thursday night for any Q&As, and let's go see what our president has to say. Good, bad, or indifferent, whether you like him or you don't, he's still our president. That's my attitude. He's still the guy in charge right now. So, and I agree with you. I don't say much about politics most of the time, Maggie, but you know.
But you're not even in the United States, are you?
Well, I am a full-blown, red-blooded U.S. citizen. Yes. Right now, I'm physically in Mexico.
You live in Mexico.
Yeah, but that doesn't change my opinion about the United States.
Well, you can't vote now.
Of course I can. Of course I can. I'm registered to vote. I have a mailing address in San Diego, you silly person.
Well, you live in Mexico, so I figured you're
I've been to Japan
resident.
20 times. That doesn't change my citizenship.
What about all the
I'm not
military
talking
people
about
out of state?
citizenship.
Is that your next webinar? Citizenship webinar?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, listen, I'm gonna stop the recording. Everybody have a wonderful